You have entered the Chronic's rabbit hole. And Carol, thank you so much for your Patreon membership request. You are bringing us back down to Face Culture's amazing interviews with the Nightwish members. And this time it is with Floor Jansen herself, back from 2020, and they are promoting the Human Nature CDN tour.
Thank you so much, Carol, for bringing Face Culture back down the rabbit hole. I'm so excited to get into this interview because they are phenomenal at interviewing the Nightwish band. I don't know what I did there. Carol, thank you so much for bringing us back to Face Culture. They are phenomenal at interviews, and we definitely learn a lot from the questions they ask and kind of how they ask them,
Absolutely.
or at least I do, because they are just so good at what they do. I'm really excited to get into this interview with Floor. We did also find out that during this time, she was actually traveling with her 3-year-old, so that's really cool to know that, you know, it's just mom with her daughter, they're on a travel, she's going to go do some work. Still give some time to do work and stuff, so that's awesome that she was giving time for this, and I can't wait to see what is going to be said. This is back in 2020, so this is also COVID time. So this is going to be a really interesting interview, and if you guys are excited to be here, remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more EntertheCronicness.
Also, shout out to Floor again. I know I always say it, but you just had Lucy come into this world. That's your second beautiful daughter. So cool, so amazing. We're all so happy for you. And also, Face Culture, thanks for reaching out onto our last reaction that we did with Tuamis. You always do such an amazing job. Please introduce yourself even more, or let us know where you're from too, because I think their connection with you shows why these interviews are so so much chemistry, and they just always hit so well. And
absolutely.
I can't wait to see what you do with Floor here.
Hi, Floor.
Hello, hello. There we are again.
There we are again. Good to see you again. Thanks for taking the time.
Likewise.
What an honor.
Yeah.
What an honor to be able to talk to these people, to know them like friends in person. Just, wow.
Oh, there we are again.
There we are again. Good to see you again. Thanks for taking the time.
Likewise. And very welcome.
Where I want to start with is very quickly just about, because you did a solo tour that we talked about last time.
Yeah.
Just a quick recap. What was your feeling doing that, going through that process and kind of having that focus on yourself a little bit?
Well, I actually thought it was very scary.
Okay.
Yeah, very exciting because I realized I'm kind of bringing two worlds together.
Sure.
And I'm hoping that I can please everybody with what I'm doing, but yeah, is it too heavy? Is it not heavy enough? How is the sound going to be? There were only things, they weren't real until the very last moment, because you kind of build things up and I have it in my head. I make a set list, I communicate with the band and how it's going to look like, but we rehearsed before the shows. Also because of time pressure and the fact that I don't live in the Netherlands anymore. I didn't know for real if it was going to be good enough until we rehearsed. Now I know that the band is great, so you can assume that it is.
And just to give you context, the Amsterdam show, as I believe, is what she's talking about as well with the Marcel Fisher band, and because it's in Amsterdam, so I'm assuming that's the Netherlands show she's talking about, and I believe it was in 2020 as well.
The real feeling of, yes, this is going to work only became there when we were playing and the music started to come alive and it started to sit, and it was really... But before the first show, I was seriously nervous to see if everything's going to just roll. Because with the Nightwish show, of course, always the first ones, they were the most exciting because you're not really having the routine yet of knowing what to do and getting there. And with something like this, it really felt like, yeah, it has my name on it. How weird is this? It's not a band. I've never done this before. So it really ran into things that I didn't think was going to happen, as in new, but it felt very new. Like, yeah, I've never actually done this before. And I was going to talk way more in between the songs as well, because I wanted to tell people about make it a more personal show. Unlike Nightwish, where we barely talk. It would kind of break the show, and now these talks are very much part of it. Also something that I don't want to practice, I'm not going to sit in front and write stuff. I mean,
Has to be natural.
I love that she said that, and that's actually really cool to know, because when we're watching Floor's shows and what she's doing,
the Amsterdam
it's
show there.
very off the hip. The Amsterdam, right?
She's like a stand-up comedian, right?
Yeah, she is, and it's really cool to actually get to have those personal connections with her.
Yeah.
And how she is also, like, even admitting, like, with that contrast where with Nightwish,
there's not much talking. It's all about the theatrics, right?
Exactly, which is awesome because it gets you in a whole different mindset, whereas her shows are those very personal, intimate connections, because the Amsterdam show wasn't like super heavy and hard the whole time. It was very like intimate and jazzy and bluesy, and it showed it was literally a portfolio almost of everything,
bringing two worlds together, right?
Bringing those two worlds together, that, like she said, and beautiful.
And it's so cool that that they're talking like this, and the way that he can bring out, she feels safe here. She feels very safe. You can see that. And that's what I think is the key for being a good interviewer, is making them feel safe so that they can express what's going on. And I do love her banter between every single song, because it really does. It's like another way to entertain as well, because that's hard. It's actually hard to kind of be shooting off the hip, opposed to writing your own jokes or your own punchlines to what you want to say between every song. So that's cool to know she just did this just in the raw.
Absolutely.
It has to be natural, but then it still needs to come. So it was very nice to feel that really happened.
That's good. And then at the end, because that's kind of, you say you were scared at the beginning, so at the end it kind of went well, I suppose.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, I was very relieved.
So when it's over, does your focus immediately shift to, okay, now we have this whole Nightwish vehicle with a new record, so that's now
yes, yeah, it did.
What's going on?
I'm still shifting my attention between the two things, because I still have the 10th show coming, and I'm asked to do Pink Pop, and I said yes, so that's a super cool thing.
Is that important, because it is a Dutch festival? It's kind of like
it's an important
thing for you?
It's an important show, and I think it's another step in this new solo career that is just if you get the chance to do a festival like this, that's quite something.
Absolutely.
So it's an important festival, and of course you want to bring something maybe a little bit different, a little bit bigger. Also, the 10th show is much bigger than the other 9, so there's some preparations there to be done. I thought it would be nice to make a registration of the show, make a video out of that, not a DVD, but live registration in the audio and video. And do that through crowdfunding. Yeah,
and I saw a documentary attached as well.
And exactly. So there's time and attention that needs to go there. So I'm multitasking very much, but it's very cool to see everything is falling into place so much, and the enthusiasm of fans is just out there, because the crowdfunding was done in 3 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And
that's crazy.
it's unbelievable. So it's really
3 hours.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my God.
No kidding.
That just blew my mind.
And she just looks phenomenal, and I know she hates using electronics and stuff, so like to be able to have the interview opposed to like a Zoom, like she gets to wear the cool attire, she's in her makeup, she's looking phenomenal. Like, this is perfect.
I like it. Phenomenal. Electronics are something that we all need to use less of.
Yes.
There are only great things happening. So.
That's very good to hear. Very good to hear. So luckily then Human Nature is already done, so that's at least the recording and singing and everything is already done. And one thing I remember from, I think I was talking to Thomas, is one thing he said was he wanted to challenge you. And there are some songs where it's quite fast and the melodies go up and down, so what was it like for you? Was it challenging for you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he really challenged me, because the melodies... Yeah, I mean, on one hand, it's the complexity of the melodies, and on the other hand, the all the different styles of singing. But that last thing I've done before, of course.
Sure.
But it seems to be even in more extremes once again in this album. More space for things, like there's real opera parts on it that just really fell into place there. That's a rare thing, but it was really.
I need to go check. I'm sorry. So you guys probably just saw Kyle click the button there. I'm really sorry. I thought I heard Ollie in the baby monitor, which I wouldn't hear too loudly if with my headphones on, if I'm being honest. But I think because Floor was looking off to the corner and there was that clicking happening,
Yeah.
it just got stuck in my head. I'm like, oh my God, is my baby doing something? Is Ollie awake? And
we can hear the show too coming through the mic, so sometimes we think the show that he's listening to when he's asleep is him talking.
Absolutely. But it just like clicked for me in that little moment that I just had, that I'm wondering if Floor actually has Freya with her, and if the clicking was that we heard was actually Freya playing or doing something on the other side of this banister. Because I think they're in a room, and I could be wrong, but I think they're just in a room, and this is just the location, and they have other stuff going on.
Yeah, most likely.
And so when I saw Floor looking off to the side there, I was like, what's she looking at? I want to know. And then I instantly thought, as a mom, maybe that's Freya. Maybe like Oliver's doing something. What's going on?
Yeah.
So it was just that little moment and that connection that I had. And it's really cool that if that is what's happening here, that how intimate and personal that is as well.
Yeah.
To feel comfortable enough somewhere that you could bring your daughter.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's just, it's such a awesome relationship that this guy has with all of them.
Absolutely.
That just really fell into place there. That's a rare thing, but it was really challenging to get it right. But the thing most challenging was definitely the speed and complexity of the melodies in some of the songs. They're really hard to sing. And they're hard also to sing in a way that it doesn't sound super difficult. So it needs to sound easygoing. It shouldn't sound like a singer who's just struggling with it.
Yeah.
So to really make it sound as if it's not that bad, that was
because I was lucky enough to have a listen just now, and it started with the first track music where I'm not a singer, but I can tell those are kind of going up and down the melodies and how quick it goes. So do you have to, how do you prepare for something like that?
Well, I really had to kind of dissect the songs into, I hear the melody of what's going to be on piano, but then there's piano and text, lyrics. Then I need to first learn where the words are, where and how. And from there, I'm going to try and sing that, and which takes just time to remember and to phrase it right, and for the vocal cords and the muscles to kind of start figuring things out. And that is how far I got in like the first month. For real. The first rehearsals, that was like 2 weeks of rehearsing. And then I took it home with me after the rehearsals were done. So then I knew what I was going to sing and how, but I wasn't really telling the story yet. So then there comes the part of the actual storytelling and adding the emotion to the song. So bit by bit I was learning and feeling where it's about and getting that transmitted through me. That is something that took another month. Because
no kidding, because that is like 3 levels of it there.
It is. It's a lot more than just singing a song. You have to have that emotion. That's something that we have said in all of our reactions, is how the emotion comes through with the song and how is the singer able to portray that emotion. And so Floor actually explaining that in such a perfect way right here.
Yeah, that really helped me.
It helped me understand it too, because I get caught up on, oh, this must be personal.
Yeah.
But it's not that it is personal, it's that it's relatable.
It's a story.
And it's a story, and you can make it personal, like Floor just said.
Yeah.
Here were the words that were written. Here was the melody on the piano. I had to then dissect it to make it work.
Yeah.
But now that I've made this work, now I need to relate it and connect it to things I've experienced and bring that soul into it, so that I can be like, okay, this is relatable. How can I put this out so that
how is she going to move her hands?
How am I going to embody it and move my hands? Because it's not just the soul singing, it's everything. You have to fully embody that song. And to embody a song written by someone else is difficult.
Well, it's like reading a book to your child, and you have to try to make it sound interesting. You can't just be monotone reading it. You have to actually like bring some pizzazz to it, which she always does. And that's why she's so awe-inspiring, is as soon as she enters into the stage, you already are like, oh, she's gonna start saying something. Oh my gosh.
Absolutely.
Anticipation she makes.
That's really cool.
Yeah, because of the complexity, you want to have the flow, you want to have the emotion, you want to tell the story, and not just sound like a singer that is doing words on notes.
Right.
And that difference really was huge between what we managed to record after the rehearsal period and the actual recording.
Final question then, because well, you say you wanted to connect with the music and the words and kind of the spirit of these songs, and you read an article. It's time to respect our planet. So, what is your connection with nature in a sense? I mean, you moved from the Netherlands to Sweden, where you're very close to nature. So, what is your connection and thought about how we treat our planet?
Well, I'm not going to be one of those climate crisis depression speakers, but it's obvious that you need to take care of where you live, and we live on planet Earth, so we need to take care of it better than we have. And I think we're on a good course, but there's still lots to be done. And for me, nature is super important to charge batteries. I need to be out in the middle of nowhere, preferably with animals or out in the woods to clear my head and to calm down. That's for me the ultimate place to reset. But I think in general, I think a lot of people have this, and this reconnection to nature is so important, vital. I mean, the fact that we are nearly forgetting that we are nature, we're also part of the natural world. Right? I mean, our DNA differs from a banana with 3% or something.
Right.
The difference
That's
is...
what I say. Your DNA differs from a banana from 3%. That's why I always say you're like a cousin to a banana, and everyone's like, no, it's like, no, like come on, like a pig's only 98%, monkey's 99, banana's not that far.
Exactly.
So little, or 3% is exaggerated, but I think with the chimpanzee, it's only 3% different.
Really close.
So it's we are part. We should just not forget about it, and I think then we're fine. And the beauty of nature and the endless forms most beautiful. That is, of course, going into this album
right, because it's a continuation, right?
It really could be seen as a sequel. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Floor, thank you.
And will the next one
you
be
too.
So much.
Short one this time.
Cool.
What's the name gonna be, y'all? I want to hear your suggestions to what you think the next album's gonna be called. I have no idea.
That'd be so cool.
Yeah. Just wow. And like that was such a quick 10-minute good interview that really jam-packed a lot of meaningful stuff still, while like respecting what was going on. And maybe Freya was there or not, but you could almost like see that like something was there and that was happening in the background that was a little distracting for her in a funny way.
But there was also like talking in the background as well. So then I was thinking, I'm like, oh, maybe like her husband's there as well with Freya, and he's talking with someone else, because we said how this is such a an open forum, and how a lot of band members have a really good relationship with faith culture. So big like time, it wouldn't surprise me if the drummer of Sabaton was there. Hannes is there having a conversation while his wife is there and his daughter's playing with blocks. Like, I don't know.
Which is really cool.
That's just like it's just such a personal experience. These questions were really good, phenomenal questions. Yeah,
and it's in the flow of like a real conversation, and again, just it's making me so excited for the next album and how they're going to address it. Like, they're gonna need people like this if they're not going out and touring and all that to have these interviews and to still be able to share what art they just created, right?
Absolutely. I have to say, I am so exceedingly happy that they did not mention COVID once in this entire interview, and it was 2020.
Well, didn't it happen like 21 more, or was it was during 2020?
Because it was the end of 2019, because that's why it was COVID-19.
Right, and then 2020 was a crazy year.
March 2020 was when I had no job, so I remember it, right? So it's like...
My life didn't stop with COVID, y'all. I literally was doing bread from 2 a.m. to 2 p.m. when COVID was happening, and nothing changed in my life.
Essential worker life, and I was just at home, repainted my house like 5 times, had nothing to do. Like... but they didn't mention it at all, which was really great for me because
Shocking.
a lot, and it's shocking.
Yeah.
Because like they mentioned the Amsterdam show, they had, you know, talked about it, but they were just kind of not like pushing it under the rug, but giving you breathing space where you don't really have to like work with it or deal with it in that kind of a way, because it was 2020 and that's when it was all going down.
And they're in a different relationship
Yeah.
where they didn't need to talk about that stuff. They're moving forward and they are having a good time. And I really respected they didn't go into COVID and as well that they didn't go into like a climate change tirade where we know that Flora loves nature. Like she said, she moved to Sweden to get even closer to nature. And that's something that we're missing all the time that we've mentioned, where we lived on an island and like we took it for granted. We had the ocean, these amazing forests, these rivers, lakes,
everything.
Like it was incredible. And now we're in a crazy snow winter madness. Like,
in a
oh my God, the
jungle.
driving's crazy here.
Oh man.
But it also, it grows you up in different parts of nature, because that still is nature, and you can't just say it's ugly just because it's snowing and it's different. And like there is a beauty to it that if you don't have never seen it before, it is beautiful as well. So we hope you guys had a good time with us, Face Culture. We hope you have more chances to continue to interview these amazing people. We hope one day we also as well, because we do learn from amazing interviewers like you. And thank you so much, Carol, for bringing this down the rabbit hole, because we love getting suggested to check out, to find out more about these people other than just the music that we also love from them too. So hope you guys had a good time with us. Comment down below if you want us to continue down the Face Culture interview rabbit hole, because I think we have another one coming down this month, so definitely stay tuned for that one. Maybe even make a suggestion of which one is coming down in the comments, and subscribe if you're new, because we are now exiting the rabbit hole, folks.
Thank you so much again for bringing this down the rabbit hole. It's been a ton of fun. It's great being back with Face Culture.
Yeah.
Peace and love, everyone.
God bless y'all.
Take care, and bye for now.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more Enter the Chronicness.
Thank you all so much for making it all the way to the end of the video. If you had a good time and you are new to the channel and you don't want to miss the next one, here is a very easy way that you can make it to our next one by hitting the subscribe button. If you liked what you heard on this video and you want to support this artist, then an easy way to do that is going right here. And I think we have a really good video for you right here that we think you will enjoy. Thank you all so much. See you next time.